Welcome back to the Everyman Guys. I'm Will.
And I'm Jim.
And this is episode 9. And it is currently...
Already? Episode 9?
Episode 9 already.
What time is it currently?
It is currently 12:47
On Friday.
on Friday.
Well, it's technically Saturday morning.
Technically Saturday morning. Yeah, our schedule last week got a little bit... Got a little messed up. Got a little derailed. So, we're fighting through the tiredness right now, doing an episode.
We just watched Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. So it was locked and loaded, ready to go.
Freaking Bodaggett.
We were given 2 ideas of what we could have this podcast be about, and
literally tonight.
First idea is about sports that we could have tried.
Yeah.
I think
we'd
years.
have to explain that we didn't go to like a normal high school for that one.
Yeah.
We went to a private school. Not a like wealthy, rich private school, but like a church school.
Yeah. So that's one option. And then the other option was to discuss historic scenarios.
The person who suggested this to us is really likes history and is a teacher at said school.
Yeah. So shout out to him for suggesting this. You know who you are. Yeah. I feel like let's do a little bit of both, and then also go off into a rabbit hole.
We're
gonna go off into a rabbit hole.
It's 12:47. We can do what we want.
Talk about whatever we want.
That's true.
Listen, here's the thing, Jim. Honestly,
yes, Will
is like we're gonna be. I have a feeling that this podcast is gonna turn into like pretty much just like a show. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair to say.
Is
it fair to say? Let us know.
I think that's going to happen.
I think that's the best thing that could happen.
So if that's going to happen, anyway,
we have to be able to riff.
Then we're going to slowly move into where we're doing skits and stuff like that, which I'm excited for.
We're hoping to just become CNN.
Essentially. But everything we say...
We want to be able to report on the news.
We want to be CNN, but everything we say isn't going to be true all the time. And that was
the joke.
And that was it. So I like where this is headed. Yeah. So I think we should start with the sports thing. Let's start with the sports thing. Does that sound good?
Let's do it.
I feel like this is a topic that we've frequently talked about, especially when you were younger and like currently in school, because it was like we didn't have sports at our school to where like you could say join a league.
We'd have like a
I play for my school.
Yeah,
like we had
played at school,
physical education.
But,
like we had like phys ed class and stuff, but it wasn't. There was no like teams or like anything like that.
Well, we would divide it. The class.
Yeah, but I just mean like say.
Yeah, there wasn't a set team that played against other schools.
Like what you would see in like a typical public school where they're literally have uniforms and everything like that.
It wasn't football. We played soccer, basketball, and baseball mostly.
Yeah.
Some court soccer. We did some football drills one time, but it wasn't like a very. But if it was like are we
doing like unlimited choices or like
let's just limit it to one if we're gonna go off on
no
a tangent.
I mean like are we doing like say options that we had or like
he said perfect world.
Oh,
so ones we could have like followed.
And we're talking for our school age selves, correct?
Yeah.
Not current self.
But it's baseball.
Baseball? Really? When you were younger it was the same?
I was always better at baseball than I was at hockey. And I always knew that, so I was like, I'll be baseball. I think I'd be a great right fielder. A good right fielder.
And like join like a league, and that would be like what you would pursue throughout your school years.
Yes, definitely.
That's interesting. Sure. I was not a baseball fan. I enjoy baseball now, not playing it, but watching the Phillies. But when we played it at school, I was like, I didn't hate it. Like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, I definitely wouldn't have been like, oh, that's the one that I want to join the league in,
right,
it would definitely have been football, especially football or hockey,
right,
especially at the time,
right.
Because I'll play. I would say basketball is definitely my favorite now, but back then I hated basketball. I was not a fan.
Right.
So back then I would probably have to choose football.
Yeah, I mean, I liked playing football, but it wouldn't have been my first choice.
And then, like, say having
hockey would have been my second choice, very, very close second choice. But I prefer baseball.
I wonder. I always wondered
my young school years.
I always wondered what it was. Say like people that did get to experience that. Was it just like you are in those leagues and like that's just what you're gonna do?
What,
like you're gonna try to go to college NHL? And you're gonna try to like go as far as you possibly can, or is it like we know this is just something we're gonna do until we go to college? It's more just like it's more just like, oh, I enjoy playing, so that's what I'm gonna do
and live and breathe. I think the ones who make it to the NHL or the MLB or the NFL are the ones who live and breathe.
Yeah,
football, basketball, hockey, and baseball.
Because it's funny.
There's no way that you make it to a league that is that competitive to get in, and not devote your entire life to it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at it this way. Bryce Harper was like on the cover of Sports Illustrated at like 15.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the best hitters in the world at 15.
Yeah.
So like,
it's funny, best, like
even just not even the best, but like players in the NFL, you have to be starting by the time you're really young. You're not even in high school.
Yeah. It definitely would have to be your entire life.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't think you get very far.
But I think it's funny because like us not having that, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I would have devoted my whole life to it, and that would have been like what I did. But like it's like now, like you think about it, and it's like I'm so glad that I didn't. Not that I didn't have the opportunity, but like it's crazy how like you
state champions. No doubt.
Go back to '82. It's crazy how like I don't know, like you literally just your life just adjusts based on what's available to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like for us, sports was always just like a hobby or like a pastime.
Yep. Kind of like podcasting was a few years ago to us, and now
it's
we're podcasters.
A legitimate thing.
I'm literally eating my mic.
I know.
I was like, all right.
So let's continue to go down this rabbit hole of randomness. Because I feel like we're gonna slowly move into it, and then we're just gonna figure it out along the way. Because listen, here's the thing: I don't know that structure is what
I will say though. The would you rather structure was nice,
but yes,
you only have one hook on your head.
I know. I have a big head. How does that
work?
I have a big head.
I have a big head too.
I don't have a big head. I have a
oddly formed head,
like this way. Like front to back.
But it looks like it's super loose.
It's long. Oh, well, I cannot wear my hats tight.
Not tight, but I mean,
if I wear my hat tight, it like literally would give me a headache.
Yeah. No, same here. I just live with the headache.
Speaking of going down a rabbit hole,
I just noticed.
Anyway,
and by the way, this is like my first podcast with that hat on.
Yes, let's hear it for Jim. No hat.
I had a date tonight.
Anyway, oh yeah. Tonight is February 17th.
Yeah, well, I guess it's
this morning. This morning is February 18th.
It's late, guys. It's late.
So you had Valentine's date night with Noam.
Yep.
That's good.
I have to tell her. Remind me that I have to tell her that I mentioned her, because otherwise she's gonna be mad. I mentioned her in like the first two. She's like, "You didn't tell me you were gonna mention me." I'm like, "I forgot that I mentioned you." So Noam, if you're watching, I apologize if I haven't told you yet that I mentioned you.
Yeah, we just kind of hung out, went out. We actually just got food at like a food court.
Yeah, we did not. Me and Noam went to Iron Hill Brewery, which is not the Yard House.
Never been there. Never been there, actually.
It's good. It's good.
I would imagine it would be like I said. I would imagine it would be like bar food. Is that essentially what it is?
It's a brewery.
That's literally what Paula said. She's like, well, it's a brewery, so it's
they literally make their own beer there. hence the name brewery. But they had a chicken sandwich, and I got it the Korean barbecue sauce. It was hotter than the hottest thing ever.
So then that would be the hottest thing ever.
Oh, and then it just keeps going.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't believe we just
drowned it a little bit in ranch, but still it was burnt. And I don't react that way to spicy food.
Can we go down a rabbit hole of ranch after you're done?
A rabbit hole of ranch.
Yes, because here's why.
Okay.
I have never legitimately tried ranch. I've never legitimately.
This is about blue cheese, isn't it?
No. I've never legitimately tried ranch, but right. You know how you offhandedly taste something? Does that make sense?
You're just laying in bed. I'm gonna taste some ranch now.
Does that make sense? Like
while
you eat
you're
a fry
eating, yes.
and there happens to be some ranch on it.
That's
I've never
how I got.
Directly dipped anything in ranch ever.
Right.
I thought you were the same way, and now all of a sudden you're eating ranch.
I don't like ranch. I did not like ranch for the longest time because when I first had ranch, I accidentally got ranch.
Okay.
I had a buffalo chicken sandwich, and I put what I thought was blue cheese on it, but it was ranch. And this was when I was 12, and I took a bite.
12?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like it recently.
I didn't. And then I tried it. I took a bite, and I was like, this is disgusting because I thought it would taste like blue cheese. You expect blue cheese is going to taste like blue cheese, but it didn't. So I said, I hate ranch. Ranch is disgusting. And then I just recently, it's 2023. So 2022, tried ranch again. I
was going to say, it had to have been soon, recently.
Okay, ranch is good. I'll try it with I like eating it with some stuff. I don't just, put ranch on bread and eat it. But then I started being like, all right, well, maybe I'll dip my fries in it. And then now I like ranch.
All right.
I guess
Scoop a little in my ice cream.
Except.
I don't care. I'm not driving.
I asked one of my coworkers to grab me ranch from Wawa, and it was fat-free ranch, and it tastes. I don't know if it's
a communist.
I don't know if it's about the fat-freeness. I don't know, but I can only assume because
I think it's the hatred that you have
that they put
towards it, that it wouldn't even matter if it was decent.
Because they have the bags, which, why are you putting the sauce in a bag?
I don't know. Well,
anyway, that's just gross to me to start with. But also,
put it in a wooden barrel.
Fat-free ranch. And then at Wawa, they also have regular ranch. I'm sorry, good ranch. And the good ranch tastes shockingly good. And the fat-free ranch tastes like the devil.
One ranch will kidnap your kids any opportunity it has, and the other one is just normal ranch. Right? Is that essentially what you're saying?
Yes.
Is that essentially what you're saying?
Yes, that's essentially what I'm saying. One hates America.
Okay, well,
and its values.
Along the same lines that you were saying you didn't like it before.
You never tried blue cheese.
I've never tried blue cheese. I tried it.
And he would say, I don't like blue cheese. And I like, did you try blue cheese? And it would be like, yeah, but I just don't like it.
Here's what I'll say.
I said, try it.
I didn't not like it. It was not that I didn't like it. It was that if I'm gonna have wings, I didn't see. I hate to use the word necessary, or I didn't see the necessity of it. But I really liked the hot sauce. Right. So if I dip it in blue cheese, it takes that away.
Doesn't it? Adds to.
It doesn't take it away. It adds to it. And now I like blue cheese. It is really good.
It's really good. I like it. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. You can not like it, but you're wrong.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right. That's our motto. It's okay to be wrong.
And you all make mistakes.
We all make mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Okay, Hannah Montana. Is that where we're going?
No.
Okay.
Fine.
Hannah Montana, we watched it to death when we were kids. And it was on Disney Channel.
What
What happened to Disney Channel?
The same thing that happened to everything. We got older.
I feel like
go back and watch
everyone
those old
universally agrees that the best era of Disney Channel was Sweet Life on Deck, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody,
Do you know why?
Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place.
Because everyone universally agrees. Everyone who universally agrees with that is that age, that grew up with that. So you can ask people in 10 years whether you like Dog with a Blog, and they'll still say no.
Yeah, and also
You missed my joke. Yeah, I agree. I think it is the best. Don't ask me why I know the Dog with a Blog is one.
Also, I think it's because like now that there's streaming services like so much that like there's not even do people watch TV shows
on streaming channels?
Right.
I think they still watch
like
them
Disney
on...
Channel. Like that Disney Channel's not on.
I don't know. I don't really know many. I don't watch TV shows that are on channels.
What's even on Disney Channel right now? I don't even know.
Idea.
I have no clue if I'm being honest.
But Phineas and Ferb is coming back to Disney Channel.
Phineas and Ferb. I watched every single episode of Phineas.
I didn't watch every single episode. I'm not psychotic, but no, I am psychotic.
It's one of those. It's one of those. Put it on in the background, and then you'll fly through episodes.
Yes, it's very easy to watch. But yeah, I think it's just because I don't want to say they're not trying, but I just feel like they're like, we already have their money.
You don't really. It's like now. It's like independent shows and movies. So it's like Disney Channel would have like the Disney Channel movies, and it's like, why would you put it on Disney Channel? Like, I don't even honestly know right now if Disney Channel exists.
I think it does.
Like I would assume it does.
It does.
But
it just like there's so much like I don't want to be this guy.
Don't be the guy,
I don't
Jim.
want to be this guy. But there's so much like nowadays with like everything has to be serialized where it's like this episode has to go into the next one. It has to go into the next one. It has to lead in, which like Zach and Cody never had to. It was just this episode is this. Every episode had to be leading somewhere. You know what I mean? To like a big. Nowadays it does because people are so unhappy with just sitting down. Like, hey, just like watch the stinking show. I think that's what happened. I think got way more like dramatic and like TikTok-y.
That's what I was about to say. Is like short attention spans.
Yes, and
short
also,
attention spans. I think is like
this,
a major part of it as well.
What I will say is this: I don't find this like the TikTok era funny.
I don't think you're on the right side of TikTok because
no, I think I know what TikTok is, and I think I like what main TikTok isn't funny. It's what Vine became. Vine was funny when all you found were like the people who were so small and you didn't really know a ton about them. But as soon as they like became Vine stars, quote unquote, then it started to get dumb because they kept making the same videos, and it was just about what was trendy. It wasn't about what was funny. It was about what was trendy.
The trends can be very much like
trends suck. Trends suck.
Here's the thing.
They do.
Here's the thing that's tough is that it's like before if you saw someone do something on social media and it was like clever or funny or like whatever it may be, smart or intelligent,
right?
And then a week later, you see someone else do the same exact, like literally the same exact thing. Everyone in the comments would say, tag the person that did it first, and be like, "Hey, they did this first." But now But now TikTok is that.
It's just copying.
Is someone that does something that goes viral,
right?
And then everyone else does it, and it's no one seems to care.
But like. If you like I was put it this way, like there's trends in a lot of stuff. There's trends in like movies. I go to movies because that's what. But like there's trends in say video games and movies where if one open world game that has samurai in it, you're bet to see in like 2 years there's going to be like 4 or 5 games. If one of them's successful back here, in 4 or 5 years there are going to be 6 or 7 more that year. When there never is.
Yeah.
Back in movies, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, the Star Wars prequels, and all these big Narnia, all these big fantasy shows all came out around the exact same time. Why? Because one did it and it was successful. So they're like, okay, this is successful. Let's start doing this to death.
Yeah.
And it's fine. It's great.
I was gonna say that's just kind of just smart.
It's trending. My point
but they're
about
not
trending,
the exact same thing though.
But there's different properties. They're the exact same idea. But that's the thing is with TikTok, it's it's okay. This trend is, the Corvette dance, right? How many people had to do the Corvette dance for you to understand that it was
that was
dumb
like
dance,
or that was like a trendy dance?
That was the thing.
That's the part that I don't get. Is
There's
that no one
67,000 different videos. Why not go like?
But the thing is like no one else seems to care that.
And I'm not even talking about the dancing necessarily.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You don't really see that.
I just think it's a bigger. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's a bigger. Like that's the biggest issue on TikTok is. But like, remember the oh no,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
Everyone used that sound, and after 2 or 3 videos, it's like okay, like
yeah,
like please do something else.
And see, it's
but it's
tough.
only because you want to get the views.
I don't care. I don't the using the same song doesn't bother me, only because they can take that what they saw that was successful and put it in their own way. I can understand that because that is so okay. Put it in terms of like filmmaking is like people have done the same story twice, and then the second time you see it, it's better. So I can understand using a song. I can understand that. But the what I don't get is like you ever see the videos where they say about I forget what it is, but it's like when your gym buddies are already at the gym and they're like hauling down this next to the car and they're like throwing their protein in their face, they're carrying stuff when they're running really fast.
Yeah.
Well, like literally I've seen that same exact video by different people
But that's what I'm saying is like you can do it differently. It's just
the logic of it makes sense because if something's viral,
yeah, but
everyone's hopping on board because
people
everyone hopping on board. It's a smart way to grow on social media. But I don't know personally because we don't want to just like hate on people making that decision.
You don't, I do.
But like
don't do it.
But like it's me personally, it wouldn't bring me any joy to just copy because it's not like fulfilling.
For example.
But that's the difference between being creative.
We're doing a podcast, right?
Being creative and just trying to grow as a social media influencer or whatever.
Okay.
Common
Bringing
user.
that up is nice because it leads into this point. We're podcasting because there are a lot of people who podcast. Yeah. And it's super easy to podcast if you have something to talk about.
And you have the gear already.
Right. So if we came on here every week and all we did was talk about what was trendy at the time, I would hate it. I wouldn't like it. But we're just going on. We're like, we talk all the time, so we're doing this cool thing. To us, it's cool.
Yeah.
We're not pretending to do anything groundbreaking. But, so say there's a TikToker who does the TikTok dance, and there's another TikToker who does a TikTok dance. They do the same dance. One of them is famous and the other one's not. And I don't understand that. They both did the same TikTok dance. And then they're given music labels for not being able to sing, but just because they're a recognizable face. And then they're cast in movies. And you kind of know who I'm talking about because they're
But Jim, they're great actors.
They're terrible. They suck so hard. It's like just don't. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't hire don't
again. That's like
I know I'm trying to. I know I'm hating and I'm sounding like an old person, but it's just like I don't think that they deserve it more than someone who works really hard and just doesn't go with the trends. And it's the same thing with me with like anything. Just.
But that's the thing.
Make it. But if you can make it different and make it your own, then do it. But all you see is just the same clone of. They don't even try to make it funny.
I have the perfect way to explain it for you.
Or interesting.
I have the perfect way to explain it. Say two people were let's say excellent guitarists.
Right.
Guitar players. Guitarists. Right. You call them guitarists?
Guitarists.
And they started playing at like local bars or whatever, and they got super, super popular. Tons of people knew them, and then they moved on to become like, they were playing at actual concerts, right?
Right.
Sold out Madison Square Garden.
Right.
if they then get that fame and that recognition, are they going to then go and try to be like, well, now that we have all this fame, let's go do something else and see what else we could get famous at? Are you catching on to what my point is?
Yes.
My point is that say that non-fictional character that you're talking about that became popular on TikTok and then it's like, oh, well, now that I'm famous, because it's not something they actually love to do, they're doing it to become famous.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's what I'm saying is I'm agreeing with you that like it's okay. So you want to follow trends to become popular.
Yeah, and that's all it is.
But if you're gonna then use that recognition and fame to be like, all right, well, now that I'm here, let's try to do something that I want to do.
Right.
If that kind of speaks for itself, does it not?
Yeah.
Right? So you follow what I'm saying?
I follow what you're saying.
Like if you were doing something, say that person truly loved whatever they were doing to become famous on TikTok, then why would they be trying to move away from that and do other stuff? Because they didn't really love it. It was more just...
It was just their thing. It was just what made them famous.
I mean, is that fair to say? But like, unless it's like, well, I don't want to just do one thing.
But like, my thing is
that's just how I'm viewing.
With, like, the reactions.
I could be wrong, but
and people like duet a video, and like I don't know TikTokers, but like I know Addison Rae, right, is a TikToker, and she's an act. She was cast in a movie. I'm not gonna call her an actress. And all these people do is watch that video. And you just go, like, they don't even react. Like, I understand reactions. Like, I think reactions are cool. Like, people watch TV shows and they'll be like, you know, you follow me, you watch my movie reviews. Okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to watch this for the first time. Yeah. Watch me watch it. You know, it's kind of like watching with somebody. If you don't watch shows with somebody,
right?
You know, watch me react and kind of like be like, oh, I had the same reaction. Okay. Yeah. But there are people who sit there and just watch the video. And that's their video. And it's like, you're just, what's it called? Clout chasing. I don't understand that. Just like, wouldn't you want to do?
You don't understand it because it's not. It's not what you would want to do.
For example, Vine. Yeah. King Bach or King Batch did the Vine, or I don't even know if he started it. That's how dumb it is. Hey, yo, ma, let me get your number. Right? Yeah. Do you know how many people did that Vine? That same Vine.
Yeah.
That same Vine.
Yeah.
All over. You'd scroll for hours and not find a Vine that was different. But then there was different guys who had different, like, even when Logan Paul started on Vine, he was different and funny. And then he just became famous. And so everyone was like, oh, I'm going to be Logan Paul. So they decided to not just do Vine, they decided to be literally Logan Paul and follow his whole career. And you just breed like these idiots who don't, I apologize, who don't know anything, that are just clout chasing and following.
Thing, is that they would tell you that they do because that again, it's all just mindset and like what your goals are. Because a ton of people,
I can imagine being a fulfilled person.
A ton of
just
people
chasing somebody else.
Yeah, but
fame.
But it's like that's the thing though, is that you don't want to be famous. I'm not saying
I wouldn't mind being famous.
I'm not saying I don't agree with them, and I wouldn't want that for myself. But
I think.
But if you think about it in the terms of like, they're not worried probably about what they do to get famous. Clearly,
yeah,
they're just trying to, and then not really focusing on doing what they love. If that makes sense.
You know what it mostly is, I would say, is not necessary. Like if you want to follow and do exactly what they do, fine, that's fine. I don't really care. I think personally, it makes everybody else. It makes everything worse because it's like you're not doing anything original. So you're not making the platform that you're doing it on better. You're just adding another same exact thing, another carbon copy. But here's where it really gets me, is when those same people who clout chase and literally only get, they're attractive so they get brand deals, or they're whatever. And then they pretend to tell you how to be making $1 million by doing this. You know what I mean? Or pretend like they have the secret to success when all you did all you did was make one funny Vine and then repeated the same process, the same exact words, the same exact Vine, and you're just like, oh, let's get attractive women in here now. And it's like, okay, yeah, did you get success? Like, okay, sure, maybe I'm.
So then maybe that's that's
basing
what I'm saying
my own because they did get successful, but like you got successful in a super shallow,
and that's the thing though,
unbelievably,
that's like
dumb way,
and that's just like literally like the way that different people kind of function.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people view it as if your main goal is to become famous because you have, say, so much more opportunity from that, say if that is your goal, then I would say, yeah, the best thing to do is exactly what you just explained.
Right.
But yeah, you and I looking at it can't understand where the fulfillment comes in. Like you don't feel, there's no way you could feel fulfilled from that.
Like if we started a podcast
unless you just don't care
and started the Jim and Will experience and sat across from each other and like smoked cigars and like talked about serious world issues or like had different guests on, we would just be the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
And we would just be copying Joe Rogan and be like, hey, we're Joe Rogan, but not really. That would be dumb. I don't want to do that. I love Joe Rogan and what he does. I love watching his stuff. But I don't want to just go and copy Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like I want to do my own thing. It's the same with comedy. Like you see people that like go up and do stand-up comedy. They're all have different styles of comedy. If I go watch a comedy, that I go watch Jim Gaffigan. Yeah. Really funny. And then the next guy comes up and literally just does the exact same voice. Right, like how he does the love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah,
love it. That like and they just were doing that. I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
but because it's like that video I sent you today. It's a guy sitting there watching Lord of the Rings, and he knows that the part's coming up. He knows the super cool like fact about it, and he's like all sweaty. He's like, "Did you know?" Like he was waiting. He was waiting to call that out. You know how many times I've seen that video?
Yeah,
people have done the same video because they go, "Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna do it."
No,
that's not an issue.
I think that's even farther. I don't think they're going, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do it. It's more like,
oh, that's popular.
That's getting views.
Yeah.
So let me jump on that.
And
again, I can understand using a song literally on Instagram. If you don't use a trending song, no one's gonna see your video
because
so
all people care about are trends.
Well,
that's
no. I'm saying like
that's my issue.
I'm saying though, like, that's a social media platform issue. They should be promoting all songs.
No,
really.
No, here's the issue.
Because
the social media platform
how it really works, but
the social media. I don't mean to be like
no.
The social media platform is only doing what everybody wants them to do. They only go after what their main audience wants them to do, and that is be trendy.
I'm literally specifically talking about songs on Instagram Reels. Like I don't know how a song becomes trending
because I think one person uses it and then the other goes, "Oh, that person, I gotta use it," and then they all use it, and then everybody else uses it because everyone in the collective universe has to only do what a famous person did. Yeah, like go find another song to use. Like I love what's that song? The song in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but it's an amazing song. It's by Space Hog. In the meantime, I don't know a single person that's ever heard that song. Me and my brother love that song, and we talk about that song, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I've never heard that song anywhere else.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it was in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer. And I've heard that song 1,000 times. And I'm like, I like the song because it means something to me. You like the song because it was in a popular video. And you're just going to use it in in a video to make your video popular. And like, I just don't like that. I just don't like the idea of that your only reason that you're popular is because you use what somebody else used that was popular. That's all.
If that was the case, because for example, say you heard that song and you loved it, and then you used it in something because you loved that song,
right? Like James Gunn used that song because he likes that song.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a whole separate thing, in my opinion. Like them using it in the trailer, I feel like.
No, I'm not mad about them using it in the trailer.
I was gonna say, like,
I'm
I
talking
feel
about
like
the people who saw it in the trailer.
Very much depends on how it's used.
Absolutely, they saw it in the trailer and went, "Oh, that's gonna become a trendy song."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use it in my Instagram video to boost my Instagram video because people are gonna go, "Hey, what's that song?" I'm gonna search for things that have that song, and oh, here's 80 billion videos with that song.
And it's tough because some trends make sense, and I think there's no issue there. Like, for example, here's an example. I posted an Instagram reel of we went to the AMC theater, and it was like super, super foggy. Mm-hmm. So I shot like a short video, and I was like, oh, this reminds me of Stranger Things. So I had that song, Perfectly Kids fine. By Stranger Things.
Perfectly fine.
And it was not trending at the time, which I'm guilty of using trending songs, but not copying anyone's video. I only use the song because I know it'll help boost my video.
Right.
So, and like I have done it before.
Your pictures, though.
Yeah. I have done it before. Where I just use whatever song I wanted, and I still continue to do that, like here and there. But sometimes I'm like, literally, my reel will get in the tens of thousands of views, or it'll get 200 views. Right. So it's like, all right, well, is that the reason? But anyway, got off track. This whole episode is about going off a rabbit hole. Yeah. But anyway, I use the song. It's called "Kids" from Stranger Things. That's the theme.
Yeah,
and it was not trending at the time.
Right.
And then Stranger Things season 4 came out. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden that song was trending, and then my reel like skyrocketed.
Yeah. Because
it was trending. And like that, to me, that song trending makes sense. Because Stranger Things 4 came out, and it's like, oh, well, this song, it makes sense.
It's
like I can understand both sides of it. Like I don't appreciate or vouch for just straight direct copying. I don't see an issue with using. I am talking strictly like TikTok and Instagram.
Right.
If a song is trending, it's gonna get more views on your video. Therefore, it only makes sense to choose the song that's gonna help you get more views. But it's what you're actually creating. So if that video requires a different song, and then you sacrifice the creativity to be like, well, it's not going to get as much views, then I think there's an issue there.
Yeah.
Because you're sacrificing your creativity. It's not like a problem, but it seems like you're like kind of like it's like a detriment to yourself.
That's my biggest issue, is if you want to put that in a video to boost it, okay, I understand that. But if you're only putting that song in there, and you're just, oh, I'm going to slap a video down and slap that song on it only because. Like you said, I use that video because, oh, it reminded me of Stranger Things. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you just took a picture of, like, your bed and put Stranger Things over top of it, then it's like you're only, like, it's like the people who take a snippet from a TV show or a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of being like, watch this clip, they blast music over top of it. You can't even hear the clip, and it's all like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all like stupid different filters on the frame.
Well, that
just
might
might
be
the dumbest thing.
Okay, but that might just be your opinion.
No, that's
I don't think
dumb.
that's trending.
No, that's you see it all over YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, but like I don't know.
It's this idea that you just take it from a movie and like, this is me being creative, and it's not. It's not you being creative. It's you putting a filter on a moment from a TV show and then blasting like a sad song you heard. It's not creative. You're not being creative. If you do it, fine. I'm just some dumb guy on the internet.
Agree with that. I don't know, because here's why.
I'm going to show you one of the videos I'm talking about afterwards, and you're going to agree
I
with
agree
me
that
away.
some, okay, well, in the grand scheme of things,
do you know what
stuff
I'm talking
is garbage
about?
And some stuff isn't. But yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where it's like a green flashing light, and like then it's purple flashing lights over top of like a romantic scene or something, and they put like some depressing song over it.
Yeah,
a trending song.
But here's the thing: is like
that's
those. I think the people that do them are like, say, so involved with that show or movie, so they're gonna like they want to like kind of like put it in their own
stupid edit.
Put it. You're just being hateful.
I hate that. I hate it more than anything.
That's okay, but I don't think
I think it's dumb.
I don't think
it's
that's
not creative. You think it's creative?
It's not creative to you.
You think that's creative?
To me, I wouldn't do that.
Because you think it's dumb.
Okay, but I'm saying
it's not creative.
I don't know that it's okay for you to just call someone dumb for doing something creative that they want to do.
Do what you want.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. If you.
But you're allowed to say it's dumb.
I'm allowed to say it's dumb.
You are. I agree.
But
I thought we were talking about
a cool thing. He says this: you're allowed to be offended. I just don't have to care.
Yeah.
You're allowed to not like my opinion. That's totally fine. And I'm very opinionated right now. Very strongly opinionated. But I just think
it's early.
You sap out all creativity when all you do is copy over somebody else's work, put a filter on it, and say, this is my work now.
Okay.
It's not.
I think that's how you're viewing those videos.
It's not.
Because here's why.
That is how.
I don't know that someone is doing that video to be like, oh, this is mine. I think they're doing that
because they think it's
okay.
Cool.
Think about you. How involved you are with Star Wars.
Right.
Okay. Now, take that like times 10.
Right.
To where like Star Wars was your life.
Right.
Okay. Wouldn't it be like feel good to you? Like, wouldn't you feel like you couldn't get enough of it? So you're like, hey, remember this scene and this scene? Wasn't that cool?
Just post the clip of the movie.
Right. But that's how you would post it. So that person is probably like, oh, I'm going to like.
Will. You ruined it.
Okay, in your opinion, though. But I'm just saying that person, for example, that is, hold on.
Okay.
Because that person is probably thinking to themselves, this was so cool. Remember when they were going like this and this happened and this happened. And then they're like, well, I just want to put it together. And like, these are the two coolest scenes. I don't think.
Do that. That's cool.
I don't think
that's cool.
I don't think they're like saying, oh, this is my video now. I think that's how you're viewing.
They do that when they.
Some people could.
They do that when they put the stupid filter over top of
it. I kind of know what this one filter is.
I just hate it. But here's the thing. This one guy made a Star Wars edit with War Pigs. It was like a music video.
Yeah.
I think I've showed you before. And he edited it really cool. There it went along with the music, and it was so cool. That's you making something new and creative.
But isn't that what you were just talking
about?
No,
I'm talking about so
because this sounds very specific now because you just explained what I was thinking of.
In the scene where Luke says, "I'll never turn to the dark side. I'll be a Jedi like my father before me." I probably butchered the line, but look. And then someone goes,
"Oh boy."
And it's all like jittery and shaky. That's dumb. You've ruined the scene. You've made it about the stupid edit and the stupid song, and you've made it dumb. And I hate it.
I will say that
end of story.
I will say that it's dumb in your opinion.
It's dumb in everybody's opinion
because you just explained. You just described
a dumb thing.
You just described where you said like he did like a really cool edit and it was like the War Pigs. To him, it was really cool, and it just so happens to you it was really cool as well. But that person that held that blue thing in front of the screen and played that song that you don't like,
I like the song.
Okay, but I'm saying they probably thought the edit was really cool. I don't think that's like. I don't think that's
dumb. I think it saps all creativity out of everything.
See, that's where I think it's creative to them, but not to you. I don't think it's them just copying out, being like, I know this will get views.
That's what I think it is. I think they know the song is popular, and they
this
know.
is so deep. Right
I know
now.
They think the song is popular because it's always that song.
Yeah.
Over every video, and every single one is from a different channel, and it's like the only reason you're doing it is because you saw that and you saw it got popular, saw it got views. So now you're gonna do it to this video and ruin a great moment in a movie. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say. You can do it. I don't care. Do it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it, but I won't like it.
But I think, though, it is very important that...
This might be the first time that people, hate me. And that's fine.
No, people have hated you before.
No, in my life. And I just mean on YouTube.
I think... Here's my overall kind of answer to everything that we just talked about. Is that... I think it is. Here's where I think you want to be careful with what you just said, is because say you have a certain respect for what they took, and then they added their own thing onto that thing that you have so much respect for. So them thinking they were creative, and they're like, oh, this is cool. And then you saying, well, this is dumb, then that kind of like, doesn't that kind of make them
dumb?
Like make them feel like they shouldn't, well, then I won't create anymore?
Okay.
But it depends on how you're thinking of it. Are you saying...
I'll say this.
You say yes or no to this question.
Okay.
Are in this scenario, because this will clear it up for me.
Right.
Are you saying that they are, in this made-up character, they are only doing it because they know it'll get views?
Yes.
Okay. Then I agree. It's dumb.
Yes.
But if it's just like, okay, now I ask you.
I'll put it this way.
Okay.
This might clear it up. If you go and you honestly think, I want to put that song over that scene, and I want to put a filter on it, and I want to make it like kind of like emotional and like vibrate the image and like make people feel sick when they watch it, and you think that's really cool, do it. Then that's great. If you're doing it because you think that's creative and cool, absolutely. I don't know you from Adam. Do whatever you want. Absolutely. But all I can think is, in this world of trends and everything's a trend and everything's a this and everything's a that, all I can think is you're only putting that over that, making it look that dumb only because the song is popular, and maybe at the time Star Wars is like, you know, the Obi-Wan series is out. So you're like, oh, okay. Or the Mandalorian series coming up. So you're like, remember this from Star Wars? And you put a trendy song, a trendy filter, and say Star Wars, and it's trendy, and everyone trends it, and you don't even know what you're doing. You're just making a video that's trendy. That's my big thing. If you're making it out of the creativeness of your heart, and you're like, this looks really cool. Yeah, I respect the heck out of that. Do that.
It all comes down to like literally the individual.
If that's your mindset, do it. But if your mindset going into it is, you know what, I really want to like catapult onto this trend. I just don't like that. I don't think that's creative, and I don't like that. That's all. That's all. If you're doing it because you think it's creative and you like it, do it. Do it for sure. Who's to say what I do isn't stupid and derivative? That's fine.
You got to be
do what you like. But if you're only doing it because it's trendy, then I hate that.
Then I can understand.
You can still do it.
I can understand that argument,
and I'm not going to support you.
I can understand that argument for being against it if it is solely because it's, say, following.
Right. Say the difference between something like, you know, Marvel, and then you just put out another superhero movie, and it's like, okay, you just, you know, capitalize. But there are things like different shows that like are like, this is a superhero movie, but like in an interesting new look at superheroes. Maybe the superheroes are like bad, like the boys. Maybe they're like bad, and the evil, and you're like, oh, well, that's an interesting twist on it. But it's getting to that point with Marvel where it's like, it's the same movie. It's the same story, a movie. You're just like, give me a little bit like a twist or something. Like, give me something, change it up a little bit.
Yeah, like the NFL script.
Like the NFL script, exactly. I don't want to have to
like switch it up. Have Mahomes be terrible.
Yeah, have Mahomes actually be hurt and not just pretend to be hurt. No, just
have the Eagles win.
Oh, they just won 5 years ago. Have the Cowboys win. That'll change things up.
Then we'll know it's scripted.
Yeah, exactly. No, if anybody, like, I'm apologizing again. But if anybody feels attacked, I apologize. I'm not trying to attack
But if they feel
anybody.
attacked, then that means that you were just kind of... Because that's the only thing you took issue with.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I kind of agree with. I just think it's a very thin line because you don't know.
No, I don't know what you're thinking.
Because it's hard. It's hard when someone creates anything. It's like, well, why did you create it? Well,
because you thought it was interesting.
You don't know.
Go for it. But if you're doing it for clout and views, just don't do it. Do something that you think is interesting. Don't just do it because of.
We encourage you to be creative.
And in whatever way that takes form, but just don't follow.
You know what's so ironic?
Don't go, oh, that's trendy.
You know what's so ironic is that viral videos go viral because they stand out from the crowd.
Right.
And trends form from a viral video.
From a viral video.
And then it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you know? Something stands out from the crowd and it becomes viral.
Viral.
So if the only thing you care about is views and say, becoming famous,
right,
then you have a better chance of doing that by standing out from the crowd and being super creative rather than following the trends.
Yes.
I think we just solved it.
I
think that's the whole thing, because that is incredibly ironic.
Yeah. We saved the
What do you know? Be creative and true to yourself, and good things will happen. That was a whole thing with
this episode should just be titled random, but really,
etc.
etc.
That's doing really what you love is like something that like we've talked about.
Yeah.
With like I remember when we were going to Washington D.C., we had like a long conversation about like if we're gonna like chase something, we're not gonna settle for something that we don't really want to do.
Right.
We're gonna go as hard as we can on something that we love.
Right.
If that makes sense.
What it really comes down to for me with being creative and doing stuff like this or like anything really, I prefer, like I said this to you before, I'm Jimmy.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a detail. I'm me. So be you and do what, like you know what I mean? You have to be like, oh, well, okay, you're a man. So you have to do, you're an everyman guy, right? So you have to do, what this guy does, because if you don't fall into what he says a man is. So you have to, be that. Like, I'm not talking about like to the extreme extent. I'm just saying like trendy is just like, it's just a dumb thing.
It's always
going
to be that.
It's always going to be
that. Trendy
is
never going to.
It's never going to be something substantial. It's always going to be like face value. And I just can't stand that. It's the same with brands. Like, if you want to get something that looks cool, get it. Just because the brand isn't exactly what you think the brand should be, and you want it to be Nike, but it's Adidas, but you still like it, but you're like, oh, the brands. Don't be that person. There's so many people in this world that are that way. That just, oh, well, I would like to do this, but if I do this, I'm not trendy or I'm not up with the crowd. And I don't think that you should be. I think the more you stand out, and it's proven, the more you stand out, the more people take notice, and they'll start following you.
Well, what you said about the brands is like another fine line, because here's how you can kind of like.
I know, but
here's what I'm saying.
Make a decision,
is that all you have to say to have them understand fully what you're saying is this: is that if you really want to do this, but this is more popular, and then you go to the more popular thing, that's where it's an issue.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but here's what if I hear what you said about brands, like I will literally choose one brand over another because the logo looks better.
If this flannel,
but that is actually liking the other one better.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If this flannel,
I agree with everything you just said.
Right? I'm like, oh, I like that flannel, but it was from H&M. Rather than my
American Eagle or something,
right? I don't shop at either of those places, but just for example, right? And I said, I like this, but it's H&M, and everybody else shops from American Eagle, so I'm going to go to American Eagle and look for one that I don't like as much, but it's American Eagle.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't be that person. Just get the one you want. Wear the one you want.
Yeah, it's. If
people want to tell you that the colors don't match,
self.
If you like it, wear it. It's the same with the videos. If you think that it's cool, make it. But if you're only following a trend and trying to capitalize on what's already popular, I don't like that. I don't think that's cool. And I'm not the beer and all sayer of all things. I just know what I like, and I know what really captivates me.
You just want to encourage people.
I want to encourage people to step out from the crowd.
Yes.
Be a free thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Think the way you want to think. Get all the information you can about a subject before you do it.
Yeah, be knowledgeable.
Be knowledgeable about it, and that way you're informed. Don't just go, and that's what this world is right now. And I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole of that, but that's what this world is right now. It's all about, well, I'm part of this group, so me go here. whether you're on this side or this side of an issue, don't just follow just because you're following. Just because, oh, I'm supposed to follow because me have to. He's wearing the same shirt as me. X number of reasons. So me follow him because shirt he wears is my shirt.
Yeah.
Don't. If we probably would follow each other more often, right? But if you said, hey, I'm going to go right. And I was like, no, I really want to go left. I'm not just going to follow you right. I'm going to go left. Because that's what I think is the right thing to do.
And not agree with everything that
don't just agree just because you like the person or you think the person is cool. They're them. They're not you.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do and follow what you think is cool, and I guarantee you'll be a better person.
And you're the ultimate decision maker on what you do become. No one else is gonna, because that other person is not your guide to what you're gonna end up as. Right. It's gonna have an effect on you, but it's more the effect that it takes on you is more the reaction you have towards those, say, where it doesn't quite mix.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Because say like I followed you into everything you did, and then one day you left for some reason, right?
Yeah.
And I said,
hypothetically,
why
we're talking
hypothetically. Why am I
this
here?
Did not happen.
Because the person I was following is gone now. So why am I here? And if I can't answer that question, then I've been doing way too much following and not enough doing my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you need to have a healthy enough relationship with yourself to be like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I believe. So I'm going to do this. And if someone else does this, I'm going to go as far as I can with this person down that road.
Mm-hmm.
And when it branches off, I have to make a decision. Okay, do I want to go this way or do I want to go this way? And no other person can make that decision for you. You have to do it. So just do the one thing that you believe is right and you like more, and you'll be good.
And if you're ever concerned, and I know that there's horrible people out there that will find a way to make you feel miserable no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you're ever concerned that, say, oh, well, I don't know if I want to, and again, this is a tangent. We're just acknowledging that and continue to go on this tangent. But say you're concerned about like, oh, I don't know if I want to wear that shirt because it's like a little out there. What are people like? Do you know what most people? Don't you think that at least 100 of the people that you're probably gonna see that night or day or whatever it is you're doing, don't you think at least 100, depending on how many people are there, 100 of those people are thinking the exact same thing?
Right.
So everyone that you are concerned about is preoccupied with themselves.
Right.
But you care the most about yourself and how you present yourself and come off to others.
Right.
And others care the most about themselves and how they come off. So everyone's in like this circle that like never ends, that they're like, well, I'm concerned about how they're going to think this way, but that's what everyone else is doing.
Right.
So break it down to like, okay, am I really going to not wear these socks because, they have eyeballs on them and I don't know what X person is going to say about it.
Right.
Yeah, you're always going to have that, say, one or two people that are like, oh, did you see? But
yeah.
But like that, if that is something that bothers you, then I can't help you there. Right. But if it helps to know that pretty much 98% of the people, of other people, are feeling the exact thing that you are, and therefore, when they walk into said building, they're concerned mostly about how they are coming off to others. So why would they care about how you are dressed? They might literally think about it for like 0.5 seconds and then look down at their shoe and be like, oh, my sock was folded.
Right.
And then therefore it's like, oh, well, they really didn't care.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, it's like there's a line too of that where, yes, and you always be yourself and always and all that stuff, but it also comes into play, say, you know, just because you're being yourself doesn't mean you're being a good person.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like there is always things that you have to like be like, okay, well, you gotta this way and this way. But how important is it that I do my thing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to be aware of that.
If
like,
you're putting your morals in question.
If you in the broad scheme of things, follow your moral trail and your moral but and all that. But if it's like something where it's like, it doesn't even matter to me, and it's not that big. Like, for example, I never cared what I wore, ever. I would wear orange and red and blue together, and I wouldn't care. But then I started dating, and like, I started seeing myself in pictures. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like, I was like, oh, I really don't look good. So me not looking good doesn't just affect me now, it affects my girlfriend. So I'm going to make an effort. I'm not going to change myself. I still don't really care what I wear, but I'm going to be more like, okay, I'm going to be more conscious of what she likes, or what, you know, totally Will has been the same with, you know, like he's a little bit more fashionable than I am. So I'm going to go, okay, well, Will, you know, I'll try and bring myself up from down here to like up here.
That's like bettering yourself.
Just bettering myself. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just personality wise, if you're going down a path that you don't fit, you're like, I don't like this path, but I'm only doing it because it's popular and people like me when I do it, then you're not around the right people.
And that is like so easily said as opposed to being done.
Absolutely.
Because like being yourself. Okay. Here's this is okay. We can, if it's okay with you, we can kind of like roll out on this top definitely. On this point, which is I feel that I was very much not true to myself as I'm growing up, which I don't know that really anyone is, because you are when you're a toddler, and then you slowly get closer and closer to being like a teenager, and then you become a teenager, and then you're just, I don't know what that is. but say you're a teenager, there's no, I mean, you're literally figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
So are you really being your true self? I don't know. But my point that I'm trying to approach is this, is that I don't feel that I was my true self until you and I started hanging out, because like, I feel like you kind of brought me down to earth, that it was like, hey, like you don't have to be like, why, like you don't have to be cool.
Yeah.
Like being cool, which you and I have had this conversation, unbelievably overrated. And I think, so to finish off my point is that who you surround yourself with is going to determine how much of your true self you can be.
Yeah.
Because you and I will be as dumb and humiliating as we want to be in front of each other, because there's no standard.
No.
It's not like you're not expecting me to be any certain person to where it's like, oh, well, that might not meet your standard.
Right.
So if you're surrounded by people that are, oh, well, we are this, or we're only, why are you doing that? It's like, if you're not around people that accept you for who you are, if your morals are there, I understand that. If there's stuff like that that's in question,
we're talking
that's a whole separate thing.
Based.
It's a whole separate thing. Yeah. But I think it all comes down to who you surround yourself with, because if you're surrounded by people that you're like, I mean, if you're an absolute nut job and you like to be funny and you like to be stupid, and you're not doing it in a disrespectful way, but you're around people that are just the complete opposite of that.
Yeah.
When are you ever yourself?
Never. Yeah.
You're not. And therefore, that's when you become unhappy. That's when you become unsatisfied.
Right.
And that's when you're just literally
you get angry at people who it's not really their fault. They're just different from you.
And if you're around someone that has the same, and like not everyone has it, and I understand that, but if you can find those people, and if you surround yourself with people that have the same one end goal and the same goofiness, or say you're not even like that, whatever that may be for you.
Yeah.
If you surround yourself with that person, you're all collectively gonna become the most truest version of yourself, because you don't feel stupid and you don't feel like you're less than or have to live up to X or have to be this, because you're surrounding yourself with people that you're so comfortable with that you're being yourself the entire time.
Yes. And you can really figure yourself out that way. You can really figure yourself out that way.
Yes, because there's no restrictions.
No restrictions. And you can just, say whatever you like, obviously, like we said, your morals are there and you're being a good person.
We're pretending that that's not a part of this.
If you're a piece of crap and you like treat people wrong or treat people bad, I'm not you got to look yourself in the mirror. That's why I'm saying you got to get right with yourself, and get right with God.
Yeah.
And
we're pretending morals aren't in question.
We're not talking about, oh, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
We're saying if you're unhappy in, say, being around people that that don't really make you feel good about yourself for any reason or another, and you're looking for, hey, how do I feel better about myself and feel more confident in myself? Find people who are going to, instead of being like, why are you acting like that? Why are you being insane? Be like, I'm just going to be as insane as you are.
Yeah.
And we're going to match each other's energy, and that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? And that's what we found.
It's not even something that you think about. It's just
instant. It's
like there were like small, like, say, like whatever that like either one of us would do that we would wouldn't do around people that we weren't super close with, just because it was just like, I'm sure everyone has that part of themselves that they're like, right. I do this when I'm by myself because it's stupid or goofy or like whatever. But I don't know, when you can surround yourself with someone, or with, I mean, the more the merrier sometimes. But
here's the thing though, with us is it helps with other people because we don't have standards for each other, like just together. Yeah. So like we can be as dumb as we want around other people because it doesn't matter if they don't like us. That's fine. We still, you know what I mean? We're still friends. So then other people are like, oh, well, I kind of want to be just as loose as they are. So they, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we've kind of had.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with all that, and our girlfriends are just as happy that we're ourselves as we are.
Yeah,
and
that's
they're
all
themselves
that really
too, and they're able to be themselves. And like this conversation gets like a bad rap as like being like, whatever, and like you're being, I don't know, it's kind of like a negative thing in some circles to be like, be yourself. We're not talking about don't change yourself, don't better yourself. I'm talking about being yourself, as far as if you're a goofy, fun-loving person who just wants to have fun, and
you're around people that are extremely mature.
But mature, I don't like that. Mature,
okay.
Mature is
extremely
is a state of mind.
Like
just because somebody
doesn't like to goof around.
Just because someone says, "Oh, they're super mature," and you're not, that doesn't mean anything to me, because your belief of what mature is I think wrong. I don't think that's mature. I think that's just that's your personality type. I'm mature.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I have a job. I pay taxes. I pay board. I pay rent on my car. I fix my car when it's broken. That's all mature stuff.
Yeah.
But on the weekends when I'm just out with friends, I don't need to, be a certain type of way. And if you want to be a certain type of way, be a certain type of way.
And surround yourself with those like-minded people.
Those like-minded people. The issues come in is when you try to force yourself into a group that you don't belong in.
And be that kind of person when that's not really deep down. Because you can pretend to be anything. Like, I feel like we're like humans are like pretty naturally good at that, because I feel like you're kind of built to fit in and adapt. That's a better word.
Yes.
So it's like,
but don't adapt to an environment that you don't like.
Yeah, because you do have the choice.
Yeah, you do.
It's not always an easy choice, but
and you can't. It's hard to find people that you really get along with. It really is.
Yeah.
It's not as easy.
Yeah,
as we might make it sound, but we're
very thankful for.
Yes, exactly. So that's easy enough. But if you know you're in a situation where I could be doing this, and this person over here is a lot more like me, maybe that's the push you need.
Yeah,
and that's all we're saying. If you're happy where you are and your personality is where you are, but don't be afraid to open up to people and show who you really are. And then they'll be like, oh, well, that's who I really am too. But I was just scared.
To someone goes a very long way.
Yes.
That was a good way to end it. Here's to end it. We're gonna say, just be more positive. Be kind to everyone.
Be original.
Be yourself. Be original. Jim would play baseball. I would play football.
And if you're wondering really what time in the past I would go back to just to be a part of it.
Did we even talk about that?
No, but the history teacher suggested it, and I really like the idea, so thank you. It would be probably like the Civil War or like 1860s to 1910s out in the West. Be a cowboy. That'd be awesome. Perfect world. Obviously, I don't want to die at like 20 from a cattle rustler.
I would probably go back to like biblical times. Just because like...
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Because like that's... I don't know.
I'm a very big history guy, so there's a lot of timelines that I would like to go back to and be like,
yeah,
this is cool. But, you know.
We should have a history person on, and then you can talk to him. Oh, we had an idea. Should we tell him about our idea with the... Because we're kind of like on our way out.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe just say we have an idea.
We have an idea, and it involves golf.
Yes, but we don't like golf. But we
don't hate it, and we have friends that do.
So we're gonna try and.
This was good. This was good. It was very all over the place.
Now, just so you know, again, it is what? How late is it? It's a time.
It is a time. There's definitely a time. It is 1:58 in the morning.
Yes, and we started at like 1, so it's late. So if I came off as super grouchy,
I was.
I was
just
super
because
tired.
I was.
But I do stand by what I said.
Also, I ordered another light for the set.
Snap.
So
the set. We have a set. All right,
it's
we gotta
cool.
go.
Yeah,
we gotta hang this one.
The fact that we gotta go is really
just
makes me realize that.
Thanks
for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Oh, we nailed that one.